All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, December 12th, 2014, and this is the First Cup with Jules here on UCY.tv, and, hold on, like I literally just hit answer, just is the music ended, so I'm not sure if anyone else is around. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday. I have not even had a sip of coffee yet. This is before the first cup with One-Eyed Jewel. Hey, Wendy might be here. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, I need coffee. See, I thought about this yesterday. That's why the show's called Before the First Cup. Alright, I gotta hit this button. Maybe. Hold on. There she is.
Hey.
I thought you were working.
No, I was working yesterday, and I'll be working next Thursday. So I'm here today. Good morning. How are you?
That's good. As good as yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not sure how that was either. I was working. I didn't hear you.
I deleted the archive.
Oh, gee.
It was that good.
Oh, no. My goodness.
I gotta turn off some of these lights out here. Oh my God.
Wow, what is it here? It's 33 degrees, and the sun came out yesterday, and now it's back behind thick cloud layers, and I guess Zori's getting hammered, huh?
With rain, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the
Pineapple Express.
Yeah, the mountains, though, are getting hammered pretty good with snow out by her.
Yeah, I
so
don't know.
That's a plus. I guess there's some places there's like over 2 feet, so that's pretty good for snow out in the mountains.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, what else is going on?
Nothing.
This damn Java thing. I guess the JavaScript for the chat has to be updated, and I tried to do that this morning, and it wouldn't even
Flash
update.
me?
No, just the JavaScript. I think that's the reason why my chat isn't working.
I don't know. My chat I mentioned yesterday on 2 of my 4 machines, my machine was telling me that I had to upgrade Flash.
Oh.
But I didn't. And so it's still just a big square box with a red thing through it.
Yeah, that's what mine is right now. So, I don't even know who's in there or what they're saying, so I'm chat blind today.
Yeah, it was yesterday too.
Yeah, that's alright. It's once in a while, I guess. It's alright. But it's weird. It won't let me. I just pushed the install button and it wouldn't even install it. So I don't know what the heck's going on. It prompts me for like an update. But, cause you can't run the chat unless you have Java, right?
No, it's not Java. That's what I'm telling you. It's Flash. There's no Java in the chat.
Oh.
It's Flash or there's HTML5. There's 2 versions if you go to the website for the for Chitango. There's no Java involved. No.
Right. Cool. Well, I didn't know these things.
I would say it's Flash. Like I said, 2 of my 4 machines were forcing me to upgrade Flash. Wouldn't let me touch chat, YouTube. Wasn't showing any ads. Wasn't showing any embeds.
Wow.
But we know that Flash is the spy tool, so I try to go as long as I possibly can without upgrading it, but eventually it makes my machine unusable.
I know, isn't that sucky the way they
everything
do that?
was every like 5 minutes I would have to refresh a page and refresh out and then refresh a page and then nothing would even load on the page. And you'd get that big rectangular box that says the shockwave has crashed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Flash.
Oh,
that's Flash.
okay.
And that happened for about 2 days before the machines then gave me the big red circle with a line through it saying I had to upgrade.
It's the same with my phone. Like, if I don't want to install those stupid updates because they radically change everything on my phone, and it drives me crazy. And so I don't do it. But then my phone becomes unusable after a while. It's just they force you to take their spyware.
Yep, that is exactly what they do.
Mm-hmm. Bastards. Well, there is a new Joy Camp video called Run Ebola Run, and it's pretty funny, I guess. It's like a spin-off on Run Lola Run, that movie.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, it's really lame. It's the whole freaking movie is this like trendy girl running throughout the entire freaking movie. It's retarded. And so that's a spoof on that movie.
Oh, cool.
So, Joy Camp's pretty funny. I really like those guys.
JJ says F Flash.
Is JJ, I'm wondering if he got buried under snow.
We got at least a foot, so I'm sure that they got way more.
You got a foot of snow?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to come here, and then it must have, and it was a nor'easter, so they rotate kind of backwards from the coast coming inland, and they rotate up and around from the east and then back west again, and so it was only supposed to get to like Syracuse, maybe just a hint to the southeast of us. And we woke up, it wasn't yesterday, it was 2 days ago. Yeah, I think. Maybe it was yesterday. Must have been yesterday because you guys weren't here. We woke up and it was an absolute winter wonderland and there was over a foot. And the thing is, it was heavy, wet snow, so none of it blew, plus it really wasn't windy. And it was just literally stacked up an entire foot, like everything, just a whole foot of snow right on top of it.
Now, obviously, there was no school.
Yeah, there was.
No way.
Yeah, there was. I get up and I'm like, there isn't any school today, right? And they're like, no, there's school. I'm like, are you kidding me? So they went out. They went out for the bus. The end of the driveway, of course, was like up to your knees because the plows had come by. But the plow, it must be like some money-saving measure, not using salt or sand or whatever the hell they put on the roads, fracking fluid.
Yeah.
They're not putting it on here. But it was a whole sheet of ice.
Wow.
Yeah, the road was a sheet of ice and there was a foot of snow. So, so much for New York State and your child's school safety. It all comes down to tax dollars.
So you obviously didn't send her.
I did.
Oh,
what are you going to do? Well, she was sick for a couple days not a couple days. The whole Thanksgiving vacation she was sick. But then she had to stay out 2 days after vacation.
Right.
So I couldn't keep her home.
Wow. So that's amazing.
JJ said he got 2 foot.
Oh my God! And that's not very far. You guys aren't far apart from each other, are you?
About an hour and a half.
Wow. 2 feet. I want 2 feet of snow.
Hey, we get that here all the time, though. I don't know. I mean, not all the time, but it's not like it doesn't happen.
Right.
We don't freak out too bad. Like the 8 feet, now that was a record for me. I mean, it wasn't here, but I mean, like in my lifetime, I had never seen 8 feet before. We had 5 a couple times when I was a kid, overnight, but not 8.
My buddy Steve called me last night from like around the Bay Area, and he said that like I guess our friend was on the highway coming home, and people were freaking out that it was raining, and they were driving like 40 miles an hour, freaking out. And he's like lived in Michigan for a lot of his life, and he like knows how to drive in snow, and he was pissed off in traffic. It was pretty weird. I guess people in LA freak out over an inch of rain on the ground. That's what he was saying.
Well, it hasn't rained in like 3 years.
Isn't that crazy? That's
It'd be like if it hadn't snowed here in 3 years.
God, could you imagine that? I couldn't even.
I gotta sneeze. Hold on.
Sure. I couldn't even imagine it not ever snowing here. That would be like a. I mean, there's been winters that here in Michigan that it's been, mild, but never. We've always got something. So, well, I guess we can thank Al Gore for that.
Yeah, we had a winter too where it's beautiful and hot. We had a winter or two where we didn't get much of any snow at all, but that was just a joke because I'm trying to think, it might have been like 2003 when we first moved here and I left Buffalo, and I was used to being slammed with snow in Buffalo. And I moved here, and I was like, ha, look at that, no snow. And then the year after, what I didn't know is that if the winds hit just right in Rochester, you get all the lake effect snow from Lake Erie. And if they hit just right and shift the other way, you get them all off of Lake Ontario.
Oh.
So it was double whammy here.
Wow, it's kind of like up in the UP of Michigan. Marquette is like in the snow band, and then down in the lower peninsula, Cadillac and that whole like midsection is just a total snow band. They get mega snow. I like snow. I'm all happy today. I guess I woke up on the right side of the bed with this B12. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is liquid crack. It's wonderful. Can't even deal with it. It's definitely improving my mood.
Yeah, I told you before, B is happy pills. It's stress tips. But I like being a miserable bastard. Sorry.
It's nuts. All right. Well, I don't really have much.
Sneezing.
Oh, wait. Let me, wait. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Stop. Well.
I have tons. I just am not mentally functional enough to even discuss anything.
That's all right. I don't mind.
I need more coffee.
You'll get there in a minute. There was this 10-year-old kid. Here it is. This was quite weird, so I'm just going to start off with a weird thing. It was a 10-year-old boy in jail for 2 months after allegedly beating a 90-year-old woman to death.
I vaguely remember that story.
Yeah. I guess he's been in jail for 2 months. He's scared and lonely and misses his mother. So...
I really don't. I mean, like I said yesterday, I don't give a shit about any of this stuff anymore.
I know. It's just that they're keeping him in an adult jail.
Yeah, he was being charged as an adult. I remember that.
That is just crazy.
Well, he was 10 and he killed somebody. But like I said, I mean, I believe this was the woman that was babysitting him, and he was just playing a violent video game right before that. So go figure.
Yeah, I didn't keep reading here. So
I'm pretty sure that was the case.
Yeah.
She had been watching him, and my first question was, why the hell was a 90-year-old woman watching a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to me like he would probably be a little much for a 90-year-old.
Yeah, if he needs watching at 10. I mean, our mom left us alone when I was 10. I mean...
Yeah, I was probably 10 or 11. My mom was at work, so we'd get home from school, and my dad worked afternoons, so he would be leaving like 15 minutes after we got home from school, and so we had like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So my mom got home. 90-year-old woman.
That ain't bad.
Wow.
Year-old.
So hold on.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to me like...
Kill. All right, so look at... by the way, Chitango... has had denial of service attacks. That's what everyone was telling me yesterday.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Well, it means that Chitango, the service has been going down. Now, notice like right before all this happened, I told you that we had our chat ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So we might have to try to embed that. I don't know if this weekend, because everyone's going to need a login.
Oh,
But
I see.
maybe what I'll do is I'll just set it up with a generic login for now, so then we can just give a basic login for everyone to get in, and then say screw chat, Tango.
Right on.
I don't know.
I
haven't even thought about that, because chat usually, at least when I'm on air, I can't go in there too much, because you can't think, but it looks like the entire chat, it's not just it won't load, it's missing, so I'm assuming that their service is down again.
Oh, man. That's a bummer. But how did you... Oh, JJ must have just messaged you in Skype, right?
Yeah, but his PC's down, so I don't know, he says he has to call in.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's calling long distance from the landline hardwired to the wall, or what he's planning on doing. Or maybe he just told me that so then he could run.
I bet you school's closed there where he is.
It was yesterday. I don't know if it is now. See, New York, they clean up fast. There's some big federal thing that you get money if you don't close schools. So in New York, I told you, they're money-hungry fucking bastards in New York. So anything they can do to get your tax money, they will. And one of them, and I mean, even when I was a kid, we used to be sent to school in like white-out freaking blizzards. I grew up south of the city where the 8 feet hit, and they never, ever closed school down there.
Wow.
I didn't know that they had federal monies, and if they didn't send the kids and took snow days, they lost dollars each time they did that. So that makes all kinds of sense as to why they never closed school for us.
Wow, that's pretty hardcore.
Well, yeah. But put the kids on the icy roads on the bus, sure.
Yeah, man, jeez. I don't know. I mean, if there was a all-out ice storm, you know what I mean? They'd have to. I mean, nobody can drive on ice.
1976 was the big one in Buffalo. And actually, they've had a few now. They had one in October. Oh, it's already probably going on 5 or 8 years ago, I would think. It's been pretty long time. But they snapped. It hit in October, and all the trees still had leaves on them, and it snapped everything.
Oh, wow.
So my mom lost her, 30-year maple in the front yard. Everything just snap.
Damn.
Oh, wait, JJ. The call-in number is giving me fax machine sounds. Well, how's that? Are you calling the right number, JJ? Hold on. Oh, wait. I got call-in. I can call you. I can't even type 717. Here you go, JJ. But if you want, I can. I got your home number. I'll call you. Boop 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 boop. I just hate waking people up.
Oh, good. I'm glad JJ's coming on, man. That's awesome.
All right. Well, here, let me just ask him. Can I call your home phone? He'll be standing in front of the coffee maker, which would be a good place. Just pull up a kitchen chair.
That's funny.
You missed the Afghani Bruce Lee reincarnation.
No way.
Yesterday. Oh yeah, there's more videos came out too. Honestly, man, if they hadn't gotten behind him financially, I was saying yesterday, this is where I would have put my financial pony. This dude literally. I swear to God. Oh, my phone died. So, thanks, JJ. I went to go get him out of my phone book, and I'm like, oh, look. I woke up with my phone in my hand, and it's dead, so I must have had it on doing something. Let's call. And how do I... Oh, show dial pad. There we go. All right, let's try. Hey, listen to that. Oh, it's loud. That'll wake you up.
Jeez, I wish there was a...
What? Go ahead, talk.
I wish there was a way you could that shit because the dial tones and shit going over the air.
Wow. I don't know. All right, here, let's try this. All right. Well, look at that's the first time for everything. The hell did I do?
That's all right.
I hung it up. All right, wait. Let's try
I
this.
was talking.
That's
okay.
No, I can't get it. All right, let's try this again. But I'm going to try to mute. Hold on.
There we go again.
Oh, it doesn't even if I'm
muted? Doesn't
muted?
work even if you mute, yeah.
Oh, well.
That's too fast or something.
A quarter of a cup of coffee. It's not good fast. Hey, they passed a $1.1 trillion spending bill.
I know.
It's supposedly, I heard at the end, they were trying to put some sort of Wall Street bailout bullshit in there.
I know. They're sneaking all this shit in like I always do. And it's horseshit, and I'm sick of it. And it's $1.1 trillion. I mean, oh my God. We can't take much more of this. I mean, the grandchildren's grandchildren are going to be on the hook for something that's not even theirs. It's retarded. Retarded beyond belief. And it's, I don't know, if you go on Drudge right now, fucking Boner, John Boner's got this evil ass looking freaking look on his face. It's like an evil, he's like right next to Piglosi and Obama, but he's just got this fucking look on his face, man, on that picture. I'm not sure. I think I'm still connected.
Yeah, this fucking new update that the thing made me do. Now there's no way to conference anyone with a phone number.
Oh my God!
I don't see any push button that I pay for the fucking service.
Yikes! That is not good.
Well, this is fucking irritating now. Now I'm hot.
Stupid Skype. It's these freaking... Yeah, not good.
Here's the phone number. Here's to add people to the call. Where's the fucking dial?
God, I don't
Where's
know.
the connect? Does that work?
It's not going through, is it?
No, there's no button.
Jeez, that's weird. There is no button at all. So if you brought him in through Skype, he can't do that because his PC is gone, right?
Can you just talk about something else and let me quietly try to get this before I just decide that the show's over? It's Friday. I really...
It's all right. Well...
You know, it's like your dad working under the hood of the car and all the fucking brake lines just poured in his face. And you're like, Dad, did all that brake fluid just pour in your face? It's probably not the right question to be asking at that moment.
Sorry. Truth here. Alright, I don't know. Anyways.
Talk about the budget. We were just talking about the budget.
Correct.
Not about his facial expression. Talk about actually what they agreed to. $1.1 trillion. All
right. It says...
Budget and try and fuck with the phone at the same time. It's a problem.
Let's see. They approved the measure on Thursday, 219 to 206. So it was almost, it was pretty close, I'd say. I don't know. Let's see what it says here. It just seems like everybody just pretty much didn't have balls enough to stand up against it, and they don't even read what comes across their desks anyway. So they all want to go on vacation. They all want to not do this again, so they just passed it.
No, they fought for it for hours until midnight, until the very last minute that they possibly could, and then they passed it.
And they passed it. Yep, that's what it says right there. I don't know. So it says the Republicans have muscled. The Republicans were the ones that did it. So I don't know why. They're just going crazy. I mean, we cannot keep going like this. It's already like 13, 14 trillion right now. This is going to add it to like 15, and the real numbers are a lot higher than that, even with all the missing money and crap through the years. That gets tacked on too. And now, I mean,
I just saw there was a big party in China that we hit 18 trillion. Was it some insane number like that for the
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I mean, these numbers aren't even comprehensible anymore. And they just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. And the Federal Reserve can't print it that fast. I mean, even though it's out of thin air, they just, it's already 24/7, and they're never ever going to catch up. And this isn't even our debt. It's their debt that they're incurring. And they're just going to slit that throat, that freaking fetal pig, and that's it. Feast on the American people. That's what's going on right now. They're bleeding us dry. And I don't know, man. How much money how much misery can you heap upon misery here, really? It's messed up. And all of this crap, like we've been saying before, the Republicans are going to get in there, and they're not going to do a damn thing about any of this stuff. They're going to just keep the ball rolling, and it's going to roll right the hell over us because it's bullshit. And when the Republicans slap everybody in the freaking jaw on the other side after we get everybody out of there that has to get out of there, and with the Obamas, I mean, then everybody's going to wake up, but it's going to be too freaking late after that. You know what I mean? It just sucks. I don't know. I'm all off in freaking La La Land right now, so I'm not doing well here. All right,
I got to talk to JJ over there. JJ, they broke Skype. I don't know. Yesterday, they forced an upgrade that didn't even require me to push any buttons. I just look over and they're like, "Oh, we upgraded Skype." And you can no longer, when you add someone to the call, there used to be an option where you could either select from your whole list of contacts in Skype or call a number. Well, that option doesn't exist anymore. You can add from your list in Skype and add them to the call. You can put a number in there, but it doesn't dial it. And if you select the dial pad, that's outside of adding someone to the call, and all you get is a dial pad and no button to push to make it do anything. So I guess we can't make phone calls anymore in Skype, even though we pay for a service that comes every month out of my pocket.
That is messed up.
Maybe I can hang up on the network and try calling him first, and then try calling or conferencing.
That's.
But I'm not going to do that. That requires too much brain power at the moment.
Well, I know, and not only that, you shouldn't have to do that. And then if you try and get a hold of Skype or anything, I'm sure
there's no customer. There's nothing. There's no way to get in touch with them. No. Put it in a news group.
Oh my God. That is completely screwed up. I didn't know that. I had no clue that you couldn't get a hold of somebody from Skype if there was problems.
Well, I don't know what that matters. They're not it's news group.
Right. I don't know. It is definitely not good. So, I don't know where else to go. I guess we can't get JJ, so...
Well, it doesn't matter. God.
Sorry, I did it
I
again.
just wanted to say hello to him, but it's not going to kill the show. All right, let's do something else.
Sorry. I did it again.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
I can't even fucking add myself. I guess I'm going to delete this archive, too.
I don't know where to go. Oh, you know what? They're still protesting in Hong Kong. It's... What is it? It's been 2.5 months solid.
Good.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, I don't give two shits about any of this anymore. None of it. Zero.
Well,
None.
do then.
None! Do you?
No.
None.
Tell you the truth.
Nope. None of it. Hold on. This is gonna make my day yesterday. I know it's gonna make it again today. Make your sad day blue. Oh, looky. Do we have no sound?
Really?
Wait, did I or did I not just answer the call? I did, and it hung up on me. Alright, now we can try it again.
The resemblance is striking. A young Afghan trains tirelessly, practicing punches and kung fu kicks in a bombed-out palace in Kabul. His name is Abbas Alizada, but he wants to be known as the Afghan Bruce Lee.
I dream to be a champion as Bruce Lee was, and my great ambition is to be a Hollywood star.
With his moves, his physique, his clothes, even his haircut, the 20-year-old looks like the reincarnation of the legendary actor, and that's no accident. Alizada said he's long idolized Lee, watching action classics like Enter the Dragon over and over, learning to mimic his style. Growing up in a poor family of 10 children, Alizada's parents couldn't afford martial arts school, but seeing promise, a trainer there took him under his wing, and with financial help, now hopes to catapult Alizada to international fame.
I'm asking the Afghan National Olympic Committee and international donors to help us. If we receive assistance, I promise to make Abbas a unique star in the world. My talent is hidden. Neither the government nor anybody else supports me in my sport career. I do my best using my own resources to become a future champion for my country.
Alizada recently launched a Facebook page and is gaining a following among Afghanistan's internet users. And while he works towards stardom, Alizada says he also hopes to show a more positive side to his war-weary nation.
So that is the Afghanistani Bruce Lee.
That's cool. That's, I don't know. Just because you're jumping around and going, wah! I mean, doesn't make you Bruce Lee.
Oh, he looks just like him, and he's really good.
Oh, jeez. That's cool. I mean...
I joined his Facebook page.
Did you really?
I sure did. I was like, shit, man, if I had money, he'd be the one I'd be putting my pony on.
Oh my god, that's awesome. And you know what it does? I liked what they said at the end of that is, because I'm sure people in Afghanistan are really, really tired of getting droned and their families getting droned and just war and war and war, like for all these years. Something lighthearted like that really will help.
Well, he wants to go for the Olympics and everything. I don't know. There were a bunch of clips yesterday that I watched. And, the government hasn't been helping him at all as far as trying to get him on any team or help get him trained. And so, if you heard the story, the trainer took him under his wing, and his parents, he was one of 10.
Oh, wow.
So, he's done this all himself with the help of others.
Neat. That's awesome. Bruce Lee is like one of my heroes, so that's I can see where the guy like watched Enter the Dragon like a million times. I mean, I've got it sitting right here in the box right next to me. I love it.
And what a great thing to aspire to. I know, I love Bruce Lee too. Yeah. So I don't know, especially if you're in a war-torn country like that.
Absolutely.
All right, so I did another story yesterday. Let's look at this one. Oh. I know they just want me to give up. I know they do. Or just start smashing things. We're getting really close. Like I said yesterday, this is the way now I've discovered it will be the only way to pay the bills for the network is after doing all the 30s show cutting for how many ever shows, sitting here for hours producing everything, and then having to get in the seat and do a show how many ever days there isn't someone to sit here and do a show. I also have to write stories every day to try and make some ad dollars to pay the bills. So, hey, not bad, because now it's forcing me to write, and I've had my degree for 25 years that I haven't utilized. And I always wanted to be a writer, but on the other hand, it really sucks that after all day of work, then I still have to sit here until 6 or 7 o'clock at night trying to write a story. So I make more than 2 cents in a day to pay the bills.
Wow.
Yeah, it is kind of wow. But on the other hand, it's been forcing me to do it, but I got to tell you, it's been making me a miserable fuck. So if I come out here and I'm not sounding very happy, now you know why.
Right.
Because trying to write a story isn't as easy as you think it is.
Oh, hell no.
You got to get your facts right. And you have 30 sources that you're trying to put together whatever happened and then come up with your own conclusions, not parrot what someone else says.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's the newest one. And in the beginning I thought, oh, this is kind of stupid, verbally attacked, but you'll see why it isn't kind of stupid. Woman verbally attacked, tased, and arrested while recording an arrest by the Baltimore police. The assault continues. I decided I'm going to start all my police brutality stories exactly like that. The assault continues, this time in Baltimore. The cell phone footage was just released from a March 2014 incident where Kianga Mwamba, and in the beginning I was like, wow, that sounds like a made-up name, but it is not. Kianga Mwamba, the daughter of a police officer, mind you, said she was driving home when she saw police with a handcuffed man on the side of the road. As she slowed down and began recording the arrest on her cell phone, an officer tells her she must park if she wants to record. And you guys will hear, he's like, gotta pull over. You can't sit there and record. Like she'd been driving her car. And she slowed down, and they got the guy, he's sitting on the ground, he's got his hands handcuffed behind his back, and the cops are all kind of standing around him. He's like, you gotta park. She's like, I ain't parking. I'm moving my car, I'm getting ready to park. And, well, here, I recount the story. She responds, stating she will pull over as audio captures an irritated officer begin to approach her vehicle, telling her to get out of the car. And you know what? Let's play this now because I don't want to give it away what happens. Oh, wait, I got to connect again. Now, mind you all, she was driving, minding her own business, driving home from work, saw the scene unfolding with a handcuffed guy sitting on the ground and decided she was going to be a good citizen journalist and film them. And not a few seconds later, bam.
This is the latest video to once again shine a light on what attorneys call excessive force by Baltimore police.
You a dumb you know that?
The whole thing's heart-wrenching, but it's just sort of, it really just depicts their attitude.
The video shot in March, just over 2 minutes long. The woman, 36-year-old Kianga Mwamba, is recording the arrest of a man on the street.
You telling me I can't record on my phone? Okay.
Police tell her she can record, but yell for her to park.
All right, I'll park, and I hear y'all saying this. I'm ready to pull it over. How can I pull my car over right here and the police right here?
Despite her explanation, attorneys say their client is snatched out of the car. The woman, the daughter of a Capitol police officer, is tasered twice.
Oh my God, are you serious? You said bitch?
Yes.
All that is on my
You a dumb. You know that?
In a statement to
Did you hear that? Like how fast that happened? She's like coasting in her car. She's trying to pull over, and what it appears to me is that there are cops standing on the side of the road where they're telling her to pull over, and she says, how am I supposed to pull over if they're standing here? And he comes over, and that's when he's like, get out of the car! Get out of the car! And she got tasered twice in the back, taken with her face slammed to the ground. This is what the attorneys say later. And then you hear the handcuffs go on.
Wow.
He says, you dumb bitch!
Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, and this is the daughter of a cop.
It's the daughter of a cop, which obviously they didn't know at the time. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more of this, and we'll hear the rest. An argument quickly escalates as she is ripped from the car, tasered twice, and slammed to the ground. As you hear the handcuffs close, the officer is then caught on audio saying, you're a dumb bitch, you know that? Mwamba's attorneys state that police then deleted the original video from her cell phone, but her daughter was able to later find it copied to her cloud account. In documents filed over the incident, the officers claim that Mwamba sped up, hit an officer as he yelled to stop, adding, I asked Mrs. Mwamba to step out of the vehicle, but she refused and held on tight to the steering wheel. According to the video below, her attorneys state that the video and the police statement do not match up. Mwamba was charged with felony assault on an officer from this incident, mind you. So you just heard the incident, right? That was charging her with felony assault. That was felony assault. But charges have since been dropped. Mwamba's attorney, Jess Inslee, is quoted as saying, quote, if this video was not able to be preserved, she could have been in prison right now, which is absolutely true. The case is now under review with the state attorney's office, and according to CNN, Mwamba has now filed a $7 million lawsuit against a number of the officers involved in her arrest for deleting her video footage.
Good.
Always film your interactions, is what I say. That's unbelievable. So, you know what? And they thought they were going to get rid of all that. I got to actually take a look. I know, I have Dropbox. I used it for years, but you know that they're spying on anything you put in the cloud. But again, find ways to use their technology against them.
Wow.
So if it's auto-uploading, obviously you don't want it to auto-upload all your videos, which it probably would, but if you have the inkling that you're going to come into contact with police officers, that might be the easiest way to have it sent off your phone immediately to another location.
Yeah.
All right, here, let's hear the rest of this video. I got to reconnect, though. Hold on. Tra-la-la-la-la. All right, here I think. Yes. Okay. And now, look. We connect. There's no hiss or echo. It doesn't even sound like we're connected, but it says we are.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. Here. So after her takedown, the Baltimore City Police actually have a statement.
You a dumb. You know that?
In a statement to WJZ, police officials say, quote, during the arrest, language is used that is both offensive and unacceptable. The Baltimore Police Department expects and demands that officers treat every citizen with respect, regardless of the situation.
Now, mind you, the fact that he called her a dumb bitch, like I said, when I first saw the title of the video about, woman was yelled at and stun gunned, I was like, oh, come on, we're really stretching it now. And she was kind of like, well, where am I supposed to pull over? There's someone standing there, and especially if the cop was irritated, I could see him being verbally abusive.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, to then rip somebody out of the car and slam them face first to the ground and arrest them after that personally is where I draw the line. And it's just interesting that the police department comes out and says, well, he shouldn't have called her nasty names. Like as their big concern.
It's just crazy.
Here, a little bit more.
Woman is arrested and charged with using her vehicle to strike an officer.
So that's what he said she did. There's no evidence that she hit anybody. And she's literally driving in the car. Would you not have heard her hit somebody?
Yeah.
Oh,
or you would have
like,
heard,
oh my God, I hit somebody, or whatever.
Or you would have heard, like, the officer saying, stop, stop. Nobody said stop.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say stop. He kept saying, pull over, pull over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's...
And she has 2 attorneys, mind you, so this must be a really good case.
Good.
Because they both, I watched a couple different segments and interviews, and they both were going, oh, no, none of this footage matches up with what the cops' report says. And see, they thought the video was gone.
That's pretty good, man. It was smart for her to do.
Well, look at how many times this happens. That's what bothers me. Like, they literally tried to set this woman up for felony. What did it say the charges were?
It was
felony assault.
Yeah.
And they were the ones was filming.
Her. Well, how the hell can she assault them if she's being tased on the ground?
Well, with her vehicle. They were saving them from hitting the cop. But she said she didn't hit a cop, and like the attorneys say, here's the video that her teenager recovered, and where did someone get hit? We don't hear it. All right, here, let me play a little more.
Charges have since been dropped. In this statement of probable cause, the officer says the woman accelerated towards another officer and he yelled for her to stop. But attorneys say the video and this probable cause statement do not match up.
I have no reason to believe anything that he wrote was correct.
The attorneys say their client was left with cuts, bruises, and a severe sprain, but it's the emotional scars that are the hardest to heal. The woman's attorneys tell WJZ the police actually deleted the video from her cell phone, but her tech-savvy teenager found it in her iCloud account.
We have also heard from the woman's attorney now, and he tells us that he's not aware of any discipline against the Baltimore police officers involved. And we've also just heard this hour from that affiliate reporter you just saw, Rochelle Ritchie, who says that the officers are still on the job as of this time. And the woman's lawyer was told that the case has been referred to the state attorney's office.
And then there's a little blurb here. It says, Mwamba has filed a $7 million lawsuit against a number of the officers she says were involved in her arrest, and what she says was an attempt by police to destroy the footage. And, I can guarantee you she's probably going to get them for emotional distress.
Oh, yeah.
And some sort of destroying evidence.
Yeah.
Which, good for her.
As
you know what?
Should.
Serves them right. And here's the sucky thing. The taxpayers are going to have to pay for it again. But on the other hand, you know what? As this more and more of this keeps happening and it becomes more in the public eye, and the public realizes that all these stupid lawsuits then from their stupid behavior ends up coming out of their pockets, maybe people will stand up for the cops to get their own liability insurance.
I agree.
I dug into it the one day online. There's all kinds of places that sell professional liability insurance for police officers. So cough up the bucks and buy it. It's probably really damn expensive. Well, tough shit. If you suck as a cop, then hit them where it hurts. Isn't that how you affect change?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be all cops. If you start to get a record of these things happening on your freaking record, then after a certain amount of times...
Well, I would say, after maybe 2. I wouldn't even give them 3 strikes, because, 3 could be a gunshot in the forehead.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, absolutely right. If you start to form a pattern of costing the town or the city money through your negligence, then guess what? That does not become a part of your benefit package, because it's not.
Right.
Taxpayer dollars to be spent on your own negligence is not part of your benefit package.
And so that way, it would leave the cops who are really out there to really do their job and do the right thing. That would leave them alone because, they're not a problem. The cops that are the problem, definitely. I think this would be a good solution.
I think it would work, too. I wish I could get some real prices. I tried to find some, but I couldn't. You had to... just like with anything, it's not like you can really go online. I guess you could fill out some sort of wizard and get like a, car insurance quote from ABC Car Insurance. But, who knows how much liability insurance would be.
All right, and these cops need to have liability insurance as far as I'm concerned. A lot of other ones out there, too.
Yeah. Hey, so anyway, for anyone who wants to catch that, or, by the way, a whole bunch of the hosts here are now writing for Nick's site, as well as other people that you know. I mean, honestly, there's a bunch. Brandon's writing there, Heather Callaghan, Nick himself writes there, S.M. Gibson. He picked up, he's one of the co-hosts Tuesday and Thursday nights on the Intermedia Radio. If you guys remember, I'm trying to remember his name. Never mind. I don't know. There's bunches of people. You'll recognize all kinds of people that you know. Nick's site's doing great, too, by the way. They got like a really, really nice ranking on Google, so it's getting some great traffic. But theantimedia.org, and I think just by popularity's sake, you're going to see that there are a lot of stories out there about police brutality, because that's what, I mean, it goes crazy every time there's another thing, So
yeah. That's awesome,
good place to keep up with that. But yeah, if you hit that main page, you can scroll down and you'll see them all. And I don't know, they're good.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty excited, man. I mean, this is the first time that I've seen in a long time a decent site that gets good traffic, that, just lots of people are all working together. And the stories are all good. I share these stories all over. And there's a few of these authors that I definitely want to reach out to, that I've seen their stories in other places before, but I'm really excited that we're all kind of writing for the same place.
Neat. It's definitely the way to network and to learn a few things, too.
It's a way to what?
Learn a few things and to network. Network with other people. It's awesome. Exactly.
And Nick is definitely pretty cool about it. So it's good. It's all good. And I'm excited. I got to tell you guys, for 25 years I've been saying I was going to write, right? Like when I got out of college, I think I told that story. I waved my degree around and I said, okay, I got an English degree now. Send my resume to Discover Magazine and they're going to hire me, right? And then I really could not understand how months went by, and I sent multiple follow-ups, and I didn't even get a response back.
Wow.
Some kid out of college with no experience. You think you're going to get a response back from Discover Magazine in New York City? No, doesn't happen.
No.
That was one of my first doses of reality there. Oh. But for many years I was in the corporate world, so I was a technical trainer. I had 1,700 people I trained. I had to write, for my new hire manual, it was an 8-week class. So I wrote, actually I have a copy of it here still somewhere. It's in a big 3-ring binder. I had an entire new hire manual that was a couple hundred pages. For the 2 years I did that, that's what we used. Awesome. All the tests, all the online trainings, I've done all that stuff, but actually, and as a director of a division, so business plans, project plans, year-end budgets or whatever. I've done tons of that. Presentations, as an engineer, you'd get up and you'd have to write a business case for everything, and you'd have to write your engineering design plan and whatever. So it's not like I haven't been doing writing for 25 years, but to actually sit down and write a story, that's very awesome. Different. But I think the radio helps that a lot.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You're telling a story. You're reading, 15 different sources. And I honestly, the only time that I actually read is either A, if it's something that I wrote, or B, if I'm tired, or C, if I kind of read the headline but don't know the whole story, then I'll read the story on air. But if I've been awake enough that, I've looked into something, and especially if something pushed my red button, and I've been looking at it since last night, and I've been watching videos, and I've been reading stories, then I never even read the story. I just kind of give my own take on what's going on. And sure. I'll tell you what, though, by talking on the radio, that really puts that narrative in your head. So when you're writing, at least this is what I found. I think I've been doing radio, almost 4 years now, which seems almost impossible, but almost 4 years. And in that 4 years, it's put that little voice in my head to the front now.
Right.
That little voice just comes out and talks. And he's a little voice that you got to put on paper. He's not hiding anymore. He used to be hiding. And it was only when you gave me alcohol and you wound me up that little voice would come out, and I'd be like, rant, rant, rant. My friends knew. They're like, oh, don't get beer into Jules because it's just going to make you listen to all of her weird shit she looks into.
That's funny. So you're able to get it out on air, and now it goes right to the pen, or, well, the keyboard. Keyboard in this case.
But see, here's the other thing. Like, for years, I had a typewriter when I was in college. And as a matter of fact, one of the things I discovered is that the only way, well, I have this like ability to take snapshots of things in my head, like when I see them. So when I was a kid, if I was studying for a test, I could literally read what I read in my head when the question was asked on the test.
Wow.
And I never knew what that was called. Years later, I discovered, I was reading something about a photographic memory, and they're explaining how it works. I was like, oh, is that what that is? Like, I literally used to be able to read it. But here's the trick. The trick was, if it was to stay in my head and I was going to be able to see a snapshot of it, I discovered that I had to write it out. And so one of the ways that I used to study in college is I would just start writing out my notes. Or like when I would be in lecture, there was a way that I discovered, like where you would completely disengage your brain and you could literally open your ears and connect your ears to your hand. And your hand would just write anything that it was hearing. And I wasn't necessarily digesting it, but it was, my hand could write as fast as the teacher was talking.
Wow.
But unless I did that, unless I wrote stuff down, I couldn't see it in my head. You know what I mean? Like, once my hands wrote it, then it was forever in there. Then when it came to asking the question, it was almost like someone would hold up a paper in the back of my mind's eye, and I literally could read it line for line for line and find the answer.
That's a gift.
Well, you know what? As I got older, it's actually faded. I can't do that as much. I still can do it to an extent, but now there's like blind spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you call that a little too much partying, a little too much aluminum,
Probably
a little too much age. But yeah, I get blind spots now. But I can still. I mean, I can at least get the gist.
Sure.
But I can't read it word for word anymore. Like, I can't, literally, I could see paragraphs and I'd be like, oh, there's the answer. It used to feel like cheating.
That's amazing. That's totally awesome.
But I never knew what that was until just a few years ago. I was like, oh, is that what that is?
Memory. Wow, just a few years ago?
Yeah, when I was reading something, I don't know, I was digging in one of my science articles. And I was reading this description that someone was talking about, you know, when they did, what the hell was that? When they did this, that, and the other thing, and they, you know, could see, and I was like, wow, that's what that's called.
Wow.
Memory story, I think.
Well, see, I'm a photographer, so when I first heard of photographic memory, I was like, damn, I wish I had that when I first heard about it.
I mean, maybe you could even train yourself. It's paying attention to the details. I don't know. Or practice, like what I was just saying. If you're trying to remember something, like especially in a textbook, I would just start, I would copy the book. I'd get every year, I always had this thing. I had to have a special notebook. I would get the thin lined 5 subject, black cover, sometimes different colors, but I like the black the best. Black cover notebook, and then I'd have to get a special pen. And it had to be as fine, sharp point, like 0.5 millimeter. And they don't even make them anymore, so it bums me out. But I used to get the orange Bics. Remember those orange Bics, the banana Bics?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think they make the banana Bics anymore. But it was the super fine, ultra fine banana Bics.
Wow.
And I could write forever and ever and ever. And it just had this great flow with the ink. I really liked black ink too. And I would just write. And it would be this eye to pen connection. You just copy everything out of the book. Copy everything. And as long as I wrote it down, I could read it.
Wow. In your head.
In my head.
That's
when I was taking the test.
Super, super awesome. Cool. That's like fantastic.
But I'll tell you what, I noticed my kid has that now.
Wow, you should nurture that.
I tried to explain to her what that was because she was telling me about it the one day. And she does really well on all of her tests, and I think that's why.
Neat.
But
hey, that's a cool
understand that won't always be there.
But it's still, what a cool-ass thing to inherit from your moms. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, when she was little, we noticed, even like at 2 years old, she's got this amazing artistic ability, but so does Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Paul was, he went to school for design. That's what he did. But, and his mom's shown me pictures when he was like 6 years old that literally they look freaking real, but it was really a sketch with pen, or pencil, literal, like a lead, like not even a special pencil, like a yellow pencil in a pencil sharpener. He would do these sketches, and she still got them framed on the wall of like finches sitting in a nest. And I mean, honestly, they look like a photograph. That's how good they are. And he was like 8. Okay. Wow. I mean, he's an amazing artist, but she, even when she was like 2, she was really into art. She still is. And so we got her like an easel. That was one of the things. We bought like a plastic tablecloth to put on the living room floor, this huge one, and then got her some paints and paintbrushes and an easel. And at the dollar store, you can find canvases for like $1,
Sure, absolutely.
Real canvases. So
yeah.
She's been painting on canvas since she was 2. But one of the things she'd do is she'd take her pencil and she'd start sketching the picture she was going to paint on the canvas. And when she was real little, she had this thing for, not Beavis and Butthead. What was the cartoon? It was kind of a sciencey cartoon, but they were troublemaker scientists. It had the evil scientist, and it had... I don't remember. But she
like Baxter or something like that?
Well, it wasn't Baxter, but yeah, it was something like that. I don't remember which cartoon it was, but she just loved it, and it was on in the afternoon, so that was like one of the one shows that we did watch. But she freaked me out because, oh my God, what is it? It's got Perry the Platypus. He's a secret agent.
I don't know, dude.
And the mad
Seriously.
scientist. Oh my God. Well, anyway, she took Perry the Platypus, and... she's watching it on the television, and you see her watching the TV, and then she's sketching on the easel, on the, what do you call it? That you paint on.
The canvas.
yeah, the canvas. Yeah. She's sketching. She's watching the television. She's sketching on the canvas. She's watching the television. She's sketching on the canvas. I'm going to tell you, when she was done, it looked exactly like the character. The girl was 2.
We're really...
like, how, even the doctor was amazed, like, the hand-eye coordination that takes as a child. Like, she's just really, she has some definite skills. But it's all related with the photographic memory and this uncanny ability to be able to draw what you see.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really, like, sought after.
I got her, we started teaching her Photoshop, and because she wanted to create, she's a lot like Mom. She's like, I want to start my own .com, have a business.
Oh my God. She could do that.
No, we got her a little website. We bought her a domain, and she's designing her own little video game called Super Cats.
Oh my goodness.
And so she wanted to do pictures, so I taught her Photoshop. Here's this 8-year-old whipping through Photoshop now, and she's taking pictures of the cats. She's searching all the image directories in Google, taking pictures. She's cutting out backgrounds. She's modifying them. She's putting wings on the cats. And then Paul's been animating them all for her and putting them into this video game online that he's making. So our next thing is now... She wants to write a business plan. Her thing is she's going to have the Super Cats game, and then she's going to sell animal costumes.
And make
this is how she's going to finance her college education, she's telling me.
Into an app. If you put that...
Yeah, it is a little app.
Wow.
A little app that he's working on.
You know what? I bet you she's right.
I think she'll do it, but I've already told her. I said, look, when Mom went to school... nobody paid for my college education. And there are other people that I know of very closely who had their college education paid for. And when you compare the two cases, the one that did better was the one who had to work hard to pay for their own college education. So you are going to have to pay for your own college education.
Right on.
She wants to be a veterinarian and get into alternative energies. She told me she's going to help people set up solar panels to run their farms for their animals. So I was like, great. You know what? That's actually awesome. I think she could do both.
I was just in a store, and they were saying, like, in France or somewhere in Europe, that there's actually solar panels being used to help farmers. I just saw that in the
well, that's what she wants to do. That's her thing.
Well, there it goes.
I think she'd be great. Her off the charts with math. I mean, just unbelievable. And she does the stuff in her head. I'm like, how are you even doing this?
Oh my God, that's
and
wonderful.
She's just, animals love her. That's all she's about is animals, and drawing animals and whatever. So I think it'll be great. If the world manages to survive, I think she'll be A-OK.
Nice. That's fantastic. Especially if she's making, like, bank off this, like, idea. I mean, seriously?
She's not making bank, but it's...
Well, she might. I mean, if
it definitely has made this project that... I could guarantee you is probably beyond anything any of her school-age friends are working on. She's built her own .com. That was her day to like have something to talk about in class. I guess that's what she did. They have a computer in the classroom, so she made everyone go look at her Super Cats game website.
Did they all like it?
Oh, some kids told her it was stupid. I said, you know what, Paige, I wouldn't even listen to them.
Yeah, don't even listen. They're going to be like biting their own tail, and she's going to be like, see ya. You know what I mean? That's
pretty hysterical. Mom, I'm going to build a .com.
I think that's wonderful. She's awesome.
.coms. Oh, where do we go from here? I don't know. I have all kinds of news. I just don't feel like talking about it.
I know. I'm looking
It's Friday. I got too much work to do. Yeah, that's the other thing. When you're sitting here for 2 hours and it's like you're looking at all the shit that needs to be done. Like, I still have to cut all the shows for the weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have to cut anything for tonight, so that's a plus. And we still don't have chat, by the way.
Wow. I wonder if anybody else has chat.
No, yesterday we were all down. It's not loading.
Oh, shit. Well,
what a great way to prevent people from talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might see this weekend if we can possibly get that other chat in. And then I don't know how I'm going to get it to everybody to give them the generic login. I don't really want to announce the generic login on air. But I guess...
You almost have to, in a way, right?
Then we can set up private logins later.
Right.
I don't know. Hey, Klingon beer.
Klingon beer.
Yeah, I thought it was sold out. It says that it's making a splash.
Right on. Have you had that yet?
No. I don't know. This is what makes me think that I need to detox is that I can't even... one beer and I'm done. I don't know what's going on. Like my body's not processing alcohol again, which happened to me a long time ago. I quit drinking for probably 10 plus years because my body wasn't processing alcohol anymore. But I was allergic to it for a long time. I would get hives and get really sick from it. Yeah, but then I stopped for a long time, and then I don't know. After I got pregnant and had all those health issues. With blood pressure and whatever, it really messed up my liver. So then I had to do the dandelion root, and it was when I started trying to discover how to fix my liver. And the turmeric and the milk thistle. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I did all the tests multiple times. You know, they make you do the piss test, and they see how much protein is in your urine.
Right.
To see whether or not it's filtering properly. And the last time I went, they said everything was back to normal, but I was in like stage 3 or stage 4 failure by the time that I was done with all their meds that they had me on.
Oh my god!
But that's the side effect of them.
Sure,
killing your liver.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't. They said that it was like the one blood pressure med that's been used for 40 years that shows no effects on the fetus, which, hopefully not. But I don't know. My blood pressure was in the 190s, so I had to do something or abort. That was the choice,
Oh my god! Wow.
So I guess it worked out okay.
Yeah, she seems fine.
Somebody's calling, so I don't
yeah?
know, JJ, why you couldn't call. But I don't know who this is. Hey.
This is Lumper Deedle.
Hey, good morning, Lumper.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how about you?
All right. I just wanted to give a shout-out to all my buds in the chat.
Yeah, all the buds we can't see.
Right.
Well, happy Friday.
Same to you. It's kind of funny when this all happened. It was like 2 minutes after I posted my Guidestone video.
Oh, no.
And everything crashed since then. I can't even get into my YouTube anymore.
Well, I'm telling you, it's Flash. Oh, wait, someone else is calling. Or is that you? No, that's just you on the thing here. I think it's Flash, because 2 of my machines, I couldn't get to YouTube. I couldn't get to chat. None of the ads were loading on any of the pages. None of the embeds were loading. And then last night, on both of those machines, it started showing the red circle with the line through it saying that my Adobe Flash is out of date and it is insecure and I need to upgrade it. So I'm certain that it's a Flash upgrade that they're trying to push. But it was like 2 or 3 days beforehand that I was having the issues where nothing would load properly. And I keep loading the page. Any of the counters that are on the page that show like social media interaction wouldn't load. And those are all Flash-based.
Well, mine says it's updated, but it still doesn't work. I've tried opening my
need a reboot?
Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer broke 2 days ago completely. I can't even get it to go to any website anywhere on multiple machines, by the way.
Really?
Well, I have a bunch of different things that I do for different people, and so the way I keep everything straight when I'm logged into all these different accounts is one browser is like my set of accounts, another browser is their sets of accounts, and then the third browser is the other set of accounts. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing YouTube stuff, and I post stories for myself, and I post stories for other people that already have stories written that don't know HTML. You know what I mean? And I got all these, so I got all these different things I'm logged into, but everything that was in Internet Explorer out here and upstairs, it won't even load. I can't even get the browser to load, and that started 2 days ago as well.
Did you get to view my video?
Okay,
I mentioned UCY a couple times in it.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Actually, I think you asked me that before you went and filmed it, didn't you?
Yes, I need to get a wireless mic, though. The sound, the audio didn't come out too well.
Oh, yeah.
And the wind, the wind was in the microphone.
So you went down there? Was that Cornerstone on there?
Yes. And
the Cornerstone is there, or no? Yes, you went
No,
down.
it's gone again. They took it out and smashed it. And then they gave away the pieces to whoever was there.
Oh, good. That's nice. Take home.
But I took my EMF detector down there and ran that and found some interesting stuff going on with that. And also I have an app. It's called the Ghost Finder app on my Nook book thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like spits out random words, like entities around. It's just fun to play with, but it spit out some interesting words. It's kind of neat.
Cool.
I just tried Internet Explorer and it does not work.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I used to do.
My Explorer works, but the Flash, anything Flash doesn't work.
Yeah, I couldn't get it to. It was open on my logged into one of the YouTube accounts that I help on, and I go in there and I start tagging things for playlists after stuff gets uploaded, and I couldn't even get the page to load to refresh. it kept saying it was trying to load, and it just sat there, and my only option was to kill the browser, and now nothing loads on IE.
Wow. YouTube works fine for me right now.
Not me.
In
totally
some
shut out.
browsers and in some machines. But not on 2 of my 4. It does not.
They're definitely launching an attack of some sort. They're doing some beta testing.
Well, I just saw something the other day that one of the hackers who had at some point, I think he was one of the ones who got busted by the FBI, had come out and warned that the feds were talking about launching an attack on us soon, that it was coming soon, and they've been beating the drums about the vulnerability of the grid, the power grid.
Yes.
And we've heard that for a while. There was just another video on my in my news feed that I posted probably 3 or 4 days ago with them now warning, huge infrastructure attack is coming. Because, all those Russian and Chinese hackers out there.
Right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to give a shout-out to everybody that's not in the chat at the moment. I have a lot of fun in there, horsing around with everybody.
I know, isn't it make it, totally different with no chat?
I know, it's still great, but it's
you don't
nice
know what to do with your hands.
Dumping links in there and stuff that are relevant to what you're talking about is a lot of fun.
Or just having the interaction. I mean, it's kind of...
Interactive radio rocks.
Yeah, but we do have that other chat that is not Flash. And, if I wasn't on air, I know I have the link here, and I probably could embed it. But I can't do it now. Can't do it now. Go ahead.
Also, I'm having a little bromance with JJ.
Oh, yeah?
In a non-homo way, of course. I mean, he's a great guy. Good-looking guy, too. I mean, if I was a female or whatever, I'd take him down. I don't mind
That's
telling.
funny. That's funny. I'll have to concur with that. JJ's totally cute.
Yeah. So anyway, you girls have a nice day, and thanks for talking to me.
Thanks,
all right, Lumper. Happy Friday.
Thanks. Take care.
All right, you
Bye.
too. Bye. Well, you know what, guys? I don't know. We can...
That'll make JJ blush.
Yeah, he's offline now, so I don't know if he's listening. Let me see. I found it. Let me message Paul and see if he can make me a real super generic login so we can at least... I found the chat, the one that he made for us. It's not embedded anywhere, but I could just send you guys to a link. So wait a minute. Can you set up a super generic login for the new UCY chat that I can give out over the air? Now to get to a chat. There we go. So we'll see. I don't know. He might be on a conference call or something, but if he's available, maybe he can get that set up for us. All right. Let me literally, do damage and go to the news.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I forgot. I was working late last night.
Oh,
I got all kinds of stories out here. All right. Hold on. All right, my dumb bitch stories at the top. We got John Brennan come out yesterday. Here, got to pull me back in. John Brennan came out yesterday, and about this torture report that we've all been hearing horrible things about. And, the UN's been calling now for prosecution. I don't know if you saw that. But
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah, I grabbed 3 different links of stuff that I had found already, and I think that's what my next story is going to be on.
Yeah, that would be wise because the UN's making their move right now. And what do we got? 12? We've got, I don't know, maybe a week. A little over a week until the UN gun ban treaty goes into effect.
Right, but remember this just for exports.
Right.
But, yeah, it's a nail in the coffin and for the UN getting their scummy little feet in here.
Right.
I actually was going to do this angle from the other direction. Oh, someone else is calling in. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Hello, good morning. Who is this calling in?
Good morning. Chuck O'Shelley, actually.
Hey, Mr. O'Chilly. How you doing?
Hey, Chuck.
Doing all right. I just finally got Frankie to chill out, so I would have
Oh,
tried
good.
to join you earlier, so... But
how's little Frankie doing?
Oh, he's doing well. He's doing well. He reacts to your voice when I have him on my lap in front of the computer. By the way, Jules, I don't know why he gets mesmerized by you.
Oh, really? He doesn't like start crying?
No, he
well,
really
that's
does.
Good.
He like sits there like he's paying attention, like he's looking for you on the screen. You know,
it's
kind of funny.
It's cute.
So,
We'll have to start doing kid training. We'll have to do like little mini news nuggets for toddlers.
You could put the earphones over his head.
Yeah, do like the 3-minute "This is 9/11" with like real simple drawings, buildings and planes coming in, and then Israelis jumping up and down.
Right.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's okay. Every time I bring up 9/11, I wait for it in the chat room, although the chat room's not working right now. It's always like, dancing Israelis. I know it's coming. You know?
Gonna be dancing.
So, well, how's it going, Chuck? Happy Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. Wow.
I know, isn't it? Like when I was in my 20s, oh my God, Fridays... I would look forward. I would count the days till Friday, and now, I mean, Friday still sounds good, but unfortunately, as you're getting older, by the time you get to Friday, you're just damn tired. So,
yeah, that's it. We're all getting older here, Jules.
I know.
That's the key right there.
I had to remind myself of that.
Oh man, he's tugging on the phone cord right now. So.
Aww. That's so cute. Hopefully he'll coo into the phone so we can hear it.
Yeah, he probably will in a minute. Right now he's just tugging on the wire. I don't know what's fascinating about that. He's probably wondering why I took him away from the computer screen.
Yeah.
Do not look at the dancing Israelis.
Yes. So did you guys see that John Brennan came out yesterday, and I was trying to catch this live. Al Jazeera, Al Jazz, after they got their cable station, I don't know if you noticed, but any of their feed, and I know it's propagandized stuff, but it's still a good thing to pay attention to, I think. I watch Al Jazeera, I watch Press TV, and I watch RT News, knowing that they are all financed by their respective governments, and they're feeding us propaganda, but there's always truth in there, you know what I mean? And they definitely have skin in the game to uncover dirtiness in our government, and it typically is stuff you're not going to see that's broadcast in the headlines over here. But when Al Jazeera got their cable station, they blocked all U.S. traffic to their videos and stuff on YouTube. I don't know if you noticed that. So they still post links, but we can't get to any of that stuff anymore. It's all blocked in this country.
Well, yeah, a lot of weird stuff happened when Al Jazeera evolved into the Al Jazeera America label, right?
And it was they bought Al Gore's network, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they got their cable network. Was Al Gore's what was the name of that TV? That was an internet TV thing, and it had a cable channel.
Shit, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm trying to.
But it was Al Gore's network that Al Jazeera bought.
No, that's absolutely true. That's why they have those facilities in New York City and all that now. But remember, see, now that was the weird thing, because when did we first hear about Al Jazeera, right?
Right.
Was post 9/11. It was like, oh, now we have these videos are being delivered. Remember, Bin Laden's videos were being delivered to Al Jazeera.
Right.
And they were supposedly out of Qatar at the time, right?
Yeah.
Out of what?
gutter, guitar, whatever you.
Oh, Qatar, yeah.
Yeah, Qatar.
Yeah, I heard Tarpley calls it Cutter.
Yeah, well,
I like the using the apostrophe after the Q.
Oh, okay.
Qatar. But yeah, Qatar has been complicit in so much of what we're seeing going on. I mean, that's where a lot of the financing's going on. That's where some of the masterminds that were in Guantanamo were supposedly put into house arrest. Did you see that? Upon their release, they were sent to Qatar, and they were allowed to roam freely.
That's right.
Vestal virgins and, whatever else they do over there.
Yeah, and of course the other thing constantly ignored by those news agencies, because we always hear about the Sunni and the Shiite confrontations over there, but nobody ever bothers to talk about the really extreme guys. There's a lot of Saudis belong to it. You know what I mean? But it all sort of coalesces in areas like gutter or guitar or whatever you want to call it. And isn't that always a strange place for the media to come out of?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
and that is where Al Jazeera is from, is it not? It's from Qatar, I believe. Right. Yes.
Right, and watching it morph into what it is now, it's weird, right? It's almost like the BBC offshoot, the way that they did it. It kind of went the same way, where they bought out another network, and then suddenly they were a U.S. cable concern. And
right, and they got a pretty nice station here. It was, I'm trying to remember, but it was in one of the low, like 200s or something on the cable network, and on Dish. When I went to my parents' house on Dish, it was like one of the first channels that came up. I was like, "Wow, how weird is that?"
Yeah, exactly. They got prime space and everything else, and I don't know if that's because because they got Gore's assets, but
I don't know.
It seems like one of those odd deals, and I always wonder where the finance comes from.
Yeah, well, they're pretty rich in Qatar.
Yeah, I guess so, but even so, it's still a large thing to do when you gotta purchase your satellite stuff, and you go into all these, and it went all at once. It wasn't like a minimum launch; it was like a major rollout for them right away.
They're probably making lots of money on ISIS oil wells and I don't know, whatever else they're financing over there, gun running.
Well, yeah, there's that. Just like the CNN International is now trying to get you to invest in these different countries. They're telling you, hey, look, we won't tax you, and you come over here. And have you seen that stuff yet? Oh, yeah, this is the commercial stuff in their streams for the international. Because you notice, like, CNN has the international feed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so of course all these other they're all set up basically the same way, where they have an international feed and then they have like an American consumer feed.
Yeah, they have their international line. I see through some of the Pigmine videos, he yanks some of the international as well.
Yeah, because a lot of those, they edit it down, or they kind of cut it up a little bit, and then it ends up on the U.S. Side of things. Except people like, Anderson Cooper, he winds up everywhere,
Right. That's his CIA prowess.
Yeah, alter ego.
His what do they call that? Alma mater.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Vanderbilt and all.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw yesterday John Brennan comes out. So I tried to get it. He was live streaming, and I still get Al Jazeera's feed on Facebook just as news blurbs with links. And I hit the link, and of course it says, this cannot be viewed in your country. And it was just a live stream of John Brennan, the CIA director. You know what I mean? So I was like, why can't I get this in my country? So I did a couple searches. I found C-SPAN was carrying it. Now, C-SPAN had been free and open to stream on the internet. Well, guess what? It's not anymore, it seems.
Whoa.
Yeah, when I went to C-SPAN, there was 1, 2, and 3. Brennan was on C-SPAN 3. I hit C-SPAN 3, and it says, what cable network do you have? I clicked my cable network, and then it gives me a login. Oh, well, here, now you can log in with your username and password to your web application for your cable provider to be able to pull this up on your computer.
Oh my God!
So it's not even C-SPAN's not even available free online anymore.
No, nothing is. See, that is exactly why I had to expand my my internet bill, which I didn't want to do. But I just had like an internet set up and didn't have any cable access. But the thing is, they ban you from being able to go look at anything. You can't look at the even the local news. They want you to log in based on your cable provider so that it shows that you're authorized to receive that content.
Wow.
This happened sometime this year. I mean, since I moved to North Carolina, this is exactly what went down. And I was like, well, why is this? I asked a couple of technicians about it, and they told me that there's physical filters. Like if you say get your internet service provided through a cable company, and that's all you want from them, they put a filter out on the line, literally, that prevents you from being able to access any of the television content. In any way, shape, or form, even though you have internet access. And I'm like, well, that's weird.
Well, they are really working on trying to crack down on any type of copyrighted anything. And I mean, any broadcast television, falls under that guise. And just wait until the TPP passes.
That's the real scary thing. There he is making noise for you, Wendy, by the way.
That's so cute.
He's just sticking his hand in his mouth and doing that.
He doesn't like the TPP either. He's pissed off.
No, he definitely doesn't. He definitely doesn't. Anytime somebody says dancing Israelis, he starts kicking. So
that's right. That's right.
Getting back to restricting television access to online, I mean, stuff that had been free, available streaming on the web, they're now, cable was crying for a long time about losing control over their content. And, how it's going to damage cable companies and whatever. And here's what I'm saying. I mean, we've had a large cable presence in this area for a long time. I worked doing network engineering. I mean, we worked with all these companies. And the thing is that they were big, slow behemoths. Okay? They didn't get on the internet bandwagon 15 years ago when they should have. And so now they're crying about lost revenue because people are getting their content online. And that's why this is going into effect now.
Well, yeah, exactly. The point is that they were way behind. I mean, you remember the whole Atlantic Scientific Converter problem.
Yep.
They wouldn't go ahead and give you the new box, even though we all know there's plenty of spy devices in the thing and everything else. But the thing is, they wouldn't give you the new boxes because it was just not cost efficient to do so. You couldn't interact with stuff online. They were like, well. I think it was still born of that old mentality where the internet is just for, like a couple of geeks out there, like it was in the 90s. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, you just have something on the internet, so what? It's no longer that anymore, and everything in the world has a duplicate life on the internet. And the cable companies, like you said, did not get on the bandwagon until way later, didn't want to upgrade their technology, and just pretty much, utilized their whole monopoly control over particular areas, right?
Right. And wouldn't do a la carte. That was one of the big other issues why there was a big, what do they call it? Lashback? No. Backlash. Sorry, it's still early. Blowback, whatever, yeah. Because people are like, why should I be paying $75 a month for 300 channels and I watch 3? And the cable company said, because that's the way we sell it, so too bad. And so people got upset and started canceling their cables saying, hey, you know what, I only like 3 shows and I can find them on YouTube. So too bad, cable company, I'm canceling my subscription. And so one of the things I noticed that they started doing now as well is offering the a la carte. Where you can buy the smaller packages. You could do the $20 a month and get 10 channels.
Right.
But
I'm gonna kind of throw a little thing into this. I'm logged on to C-SPAN right now live, and it's Senator Carl Levin, the Armed Services Committee chair, is saying his farewell address. Thank God that guy's leaving.
Yeah, you know what? I could sit there and have that stuff on all day. You also can, I mentioned yesterday, you could have the House of Representatives and the Senate on live with video as well as the transcript that's going on. You can have that playing in the background all day.
And you know what's weird about that is that used to be like a public thing. They passed a rule at some point where they were going to broadcast stuff and it was going to be available to the public no matter what. You could actually pick it up on broadcast when broadcast was, the way it was before.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, it's like another television concern, isn't it?
Well, once they went to digital, they pretty much tried to scoop most of that up.
Yeah, so it's all gone. It's no longer, I wonder what is going to become of that when it comes to the public airwaves and all that,
I don't know.
Because now they want the FCC to get involved in, the internet and all this other stuff. It's like, how do they? I'm still confused on that issue. I mean, it's
you mean with net neutrality?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, net neutrality is pretty complicated. It's been going on for a long time. And I'm really kind of on the fence as to which side of it I'm on, because here's a couple things. If you pay, this is what they're saying. If you pay, you get priority bandwidth, okay? If you don't pay, then you get in the pool. But it's always been that way. They act like this is a new concept. But it's not. If you're a big company and you can pay for a T3 to your server at your internet service provider, then you're going to get a big hunk of bandwidth for people to go hit your site and suck your content down. What some of the things they're talking about now, though, with net neutrality is that, like, a service provider, let's say Comcast, could say, okay, Netflix, and this is where the big issue comes in. Oh.
Yeah, sorry. You know what? I'm gonna sign off with you here because I don't want him to take over the show. But he's making noise, so I don't know what's wrong.
Have a good Friday, Frankie.
Yep. We'll bring you back over the computer and you can hear Jules, okay?
Oh, no.
All right.
All right. Well, hey, we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Chuck's show is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then we have Mrs. Kim O'Celli, don't forget, is doing Jaded after Chuck's show, which is the roundtable that all of you are going to call in for, right?
Yep, everybody can call in.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to try and get that chat up so we at least have an alternative by this weekend. I got Paul working on it right now. So
cool. All right. Well, thanks, Jules. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, Chuck. Bye,
Thanks.
Frankie.
Bye. That's cute.
Anyway, just in brief for net neutrality, here's one of the big issues was Netflix. This is kind of what started a lot of the conversation. A company like Netflix bases their entire business model on the fact that they're going to have this large store of large files that then they're going to offer to the public. And when the public subscribes to their service for the $7 a month or whatever, they have access to this huge library of video files, which, of course, use large amounts of bandwidth. And Netflix is getting that monthly payment, but the cable provider that's carrying all the content that's flowing is not gaining any of that monthly payment. And the cable provider's argument to that is that Netflix is making their living on sucking off of the pipes that the cable company is paying for. And as content grows exponentially, the cable company will need to upgrade their backbone in order to keep up, except they're not gaining any of the revenue for that. And I got to tell you, from an engineer's perspective, and this is why I see it from both sides, not just the consumer, from an engineer's perspective, used to engineer networks for large corporations like the cable company, guess what? They should be paying the cable company if they're going to be sucking all the cable company's bandwidth. I hate to tell you, but it's true. It's an unsustainable business model. And yes, I agree that the cable companies make billions of dollars, so, don't be greedy. But on the other hand, that's not, as an investor, let's say that I had stock in a cable company, that's not a sustainable business model to expect the cable company to keep paying for all the backbone upgrades. And trust me, those routers, you're looking at $100,000+ per card to go into those routers. So $1 million upgrade is like a sneeze. You know what I mean? So sure. It's not pennies. It absolutely is not pennies. So you got Netflix, who has their content delivery network on their end. And of course, yes, that is a lot of money to be able to stream videos in real time without hiccups en masse globally, at the push of a button. That's a massive, massive investment as well. But to then expect to send that over the pipes, unmetered, untethered, through every internet service provider and suck all their bandwidth dry so all the other people, because remember, especially cable networks are shared bandwidth. You're not on a switch. You're on a quote-unquote hub. So every time Johnny goes to suck Netflix down next door, that's going to slow your internet down at your house because you guys are all sharing the same big pool of bandwidth at your little box at the back of the development. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you're on DSL, that's different. DSL is switch network. Everyone has their own dedicated pipe. But cable is shared. So, so that's the argument from the network perspective. And I honestly, like I said, from being on the technical end, I would say absolutely. If I were a cable network, I'd be like, hell yeah. You want to use my network to, sell your services. You need to give me a cut of the pie to be able to support the upgrades that will be required as your user base grows.
Right. Makes sense.
That's not fair. That is not fair to expect another corporation to be picking up all of your growth for the backbone. You're not paying for the backbone. I am, except I'm not making any money on your traffic. I'm giving it to you for free, and you're making all the profit. So absolutely, I can see. And this is where, consumer advocates are screaming, well, that's not fair for cable companies to decide, if they're going to prioritize. Well, it kind of is, actually.
Yeah.
From a company, if I were a business owner and I were the cable company, I'd be pissed off. Now, on the flip side, here's what they're saying. Well, why should consumers have to pay more to be able to get priority traffic from a service such as Netflix after they already paid their $7 a month? And why is it fair for Netflix to get priority over the little Tom, Dick, and Harry website that, is running YouTube videos? Well, if Netflix pays for it, and they're like, well, Netflix is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and so they're going to have the money, and Joe's videos isn't. Well, that's very true. But on the other hand, this is America. Isn't that how capitalism works?
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, but that's how the system works. So if you pay for it, you get priority. Hey, if I want to take a flight, I could get the cheap flight and go coach, or I could get the expensive flight and go first class. That's the way it works.
Yep.
So, they make a big deal about this net neutrality thing that, the internet should be free for everyone and equal access for everyone, regardless of what you're putting out there. Well, yeah, but they've already had paid subscription services for premium and whatever for a long time. So I think it's a non-issue. I'd be more concerned about censorship, freedom of information, and copyright law as being used to take down the internet than I am about net neutrality.
I agree. So the net neutrality thing seems like it's kind of like
it's an
non-issue.
It's
right?
an issue, but it's an issue that they're using to and you notice there hasn't been a lot coming out about it recently, but it's an issue that they're utilizing to try and stir up dissent when it's not really something that, it's a big deal, and if corporations all took over the internet, then that really does suck because the little guy isn't going to have priority, especially if they're sucking it all up. But on the other hand, it's already been that way. You've been paying for priority internet and priority application services and whatever. Throw a couple ads on it. This is what my solution is for these guys. Throw a couple ads on it and give the ad revenue to the cable companies to pay for the bandwidth.
There you go.
And then no harm, no foul. It's not costing anyone anything extra. The ad companies are happy. The cable companies are happy, and it's not coming out of Netflix's pocket. I'm sure they get more than enough traffic on their homepage to be able to put a couple ads on there and make enough money to pay the cable company to say, here you go, shut up.
That is a phenomenal solution.
They'll never
right
think
there.
They'll never think about it. It's too easy.
It is too easy. They got to make everything complicated, and use it as a distractionary tool.
Where I would have more concern right now is over this Comcast Time Warner takeover. as they're saying Comcast, I've been paying attention to this because we're in Time Warner country up here. Comcast has like the whole southern portion of the East, a lot of it. And Comcast is trying to sell this deal to the FCC, and the FCC is still debating whether or not this is going to constitute a monopoly. But Comcast is using this net neutrality argument as the reason why everyone should be behind it, because Comcast cares about you, and Comcast wants to make sure they keep a free and open internet. Yes, but what they're not telling you is Comcast is the large conglomerate who first has been experimenting with internet data caps at the home. Okay? Time Warner is unlimited. I pay for unlimited access. You pay, and here's another thing. All right, they already have this into place too, where you pay for different levels of internet access. So you can get the low bandwidth for $20 a month, you can get the medium bandwidth for $40 a month, or you get the super duper bandwidth for $50 a month. And now they have the ultra at 100 megasecond for like $100 a month. You know what I mean? But you have a choice of the type of access you're going to get. I don't have issues with that, honestly.
Right.
People were screaming about that. How is that wrong? If I pay for the 30 meg a month, then I should get the 30 meg a month. And if I pay for the 56K a month, then it's always been that way.
Right.
This isn't something new. We've always paid. I remember having dial-up, paying for my 33.6, and then 56K came out, so I upgraded my service. Because I wanted the faster service, right?
Sure,
that's
absolutely.
America. Isn't that how it works? That's how it works. You want to do better, then you pay more. That's capitalism.
Right.
But the big Comcast thing right now is they're saying that they fight for net neutrality. Yeah, well, they also put data caps on. And they're saying right now, well, we've been making the data caps really high, so most people, 99.9% of the people, will never go over the data cap. And if they do, then we can even look at it on a case-by-case basis. But they're also the place that has said that after you've, had 3 strikes or whatever, they're going to start blocking you. They throttle you back. My father's satellite service, you get so much data per month, and once you've reached that data cap, you get throttled back to almost 0.
Oh, my God.
So for the rest of the month, you can buy tokens to boost it now so you get another, 10 gig worth of downloads. But if you don't buy your token, then you'll get it tells you you're connected, but it's like sucking a big fat grapefruit. Not even an orange, a grapefruit through a straw.
Wow.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Crazy.
So, all right, that kind of got off the topic of John Brennan. I really wanted to play this video because I caught this late last night. So let me connect to this again. So I want to play this. This came out. John Brennan, the head of the CIA, came out.
If you don't have a token, then you get
Hold on, Jesus.
But it's like sucking a.
I really hate what's happened to this computer. It has made this my least favorite computer of all. Anyway, John Brennan came out on the thing that was blocked on Al Jazeera that I couldn't see it in my country. But yes, Pigmine got a copy.
Yeah.
Brennan comes out and says CIA torture could happen again. Like in the middle of all this, right? What a dumb thing to say.
The CIA under fire. The agency's director, John Brennan, has just given an extremely rare press conference defending the organization but also admitting mistakes in the wake of this week's devastating Senate report on CIA torture during the Bush administration.
As I have already noted, the CIA was unprepared to conduct a detention and interrogation program, and our officers inadequately developed and monitored its initial activities. The agency failed to establish quickly the operational guidelines needed to govern the entire effort. In a limited number of cases, agency officers used interrogation techniques that had not been authorized, were abhorrent, and rightly should be repudiated by all. And we fell short when it came to holding some officers accountable for their mistakes.
Now, all of this after a 5-year investigation using millions of internal CIA documents and memos, which concluded that the CIA deliberately deceived Congress. John Brennan denied that, denied deceiving the White House and the American public. That the CIA used interrogation methods that were much more brutal than the agency ever let on. And crucially, the report found that not a single case of torture led to information about an imminent threat to America, the so-called ticking time bomb justification. My next guest led efforts within the U.S. Defense Department to try to end coercive interrogation tactics at Guantanamo Bay. In an extremely rare interview, Alberto Mora joins me now live from our Washington bureau. Alberto Mora, welcome to the program. Good to see you today on all days. Do you, considering the deep resistance that you led, feel justified today?
Yes, I think, and first of all, thank you, Christiana, for having me on. I'm glad to be here. I think this is a happy period for the United States, paradoxically, because it demonstrates the self-righting nature of American democracy to examine our past, our recent past, our mistakes, and take corrective action. So this is what we're seeing, notwithstanding the awful wreckage that we've seen evidenced in the Senate torture report.
Who the hell is this guy, and what corrective action is he talking about? So we exposed them. Nobody's being prosecuted for it. The only people that I'm seeing saying that these people should be held accountable is the United Nations and foreign countries. But foreign countries that weren't implicated in the documents. And I saw the UK, Poland, and I just saw a third country now. Damn, that was last night, too. That was now implicated in allowing us to put prisons there and knew Afghanistan as well, right? Karzai came out the other day and says, I didn't know anything about it, as did the former president of Poland. But I had and you know what? I copied a bunch of these and pasted them into a text doc yesterday because I was really, and I don't think I'm going to have time to do it today, but I really want to do a big story on this and this whole UN tie-in here with them weaseling their way into our legal system. But there was a story here. There was a clip where the former president of Poland came out yesterday and said he didn't know anything about this. RT, of course, again, foreign financed media that has this alter propaganda agenda that they're playing, which sometimes works to our benefit. Like I said, it allows them to dig up lots and lots of dirt on the United States. On the other hand, their alter agenda is to undermine the citizens' feelings for our government, right? Exactly. By exposing corruption. Yes. So it is a double-edged sword. But here, London airspace closed. Breaking news. Networks fail at ATC. Air traffic control networks all failed over London?
Oh.
Yeah. Can anyone say hack attack?
Yeah, something's coming.
Something. Yeah. Well, that's breaking news right now on the top of RT's page. But anyways, after I saw that video yesterday from the former Polish president saying he knew nothing about this, there was a story that came out from RT titled Hush Money, CIA paid Poland to host its secret prisons and detainees. So I find it hard to believe that the president of Poland, and just like Karzai saying he knew nothing about it. Well, Karzai, that's why you were getting shopping bags full of money on your desk every week, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So to tell us that you guys knew nothing about it, I'm going to call bullshit on both of those.
Exactly.
Again, what was his name? The one who's now got the brokerage desk, the former Tony Blair. Yeah, Tony Blair knew nothing at all either.
Of course
not.
I
don't know. Maybe Tony Blair admitted it. I didn't actually see what he said personally.
Oh, he's a liar, so.
Says the CIA paid at least $1 million to Poland for it to host its secret prisons where the incarcerated alleged 9/11 terror suspects, according to the recent U.S. torture report. Warsaw had initially tried to halt the transfer of suspects, but after a generous offer, it suddenly became more quote-unquote flexible. And of course, isn't that what we've talked about many times, is the dangling carrot and what that horrible carrot makes people do.
That's right.
Which is why that carrot needs to go away. I try really hard, and I got to tell you guys, some days it is easier than others. Some days it's very difficult for me to continue doing this on a daily basis with a 2-cent carrot sitting in front of me. BTFC. Because that's all it is some days, guys. You know that? An 18-hour day and 2 cents. And you know, here's the sad fact of the matter. We are groomed as a society to have... Hey, my audio's working again on this crappy machine with the groaning power supply. It hasn't been for days. It just started working. We are groomed to be motivated by that carrot. It's like the rat in the maze with the food at the end when the bell dings. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That they've used psychology on us. That is going all the way back, and I point my finger throughout history many times to Edward Bernays.
Pavlovian psychology.
Absolutely. And I mean, like we've said before, even when you look into video games and violence and sex, they all work on that same part of the brain that then releases dopamine and serotonin and adrenaline. And that's the same part of the brain that cocaine works on. It's an addiction it creates.
That's right.
It's an addiction. And you want more, because when you get more, that gives you more pleasure.
Right.
And here's one other thing, if you want to talk about something that I discovered, because it's really been a long, hard road for me to figure out how to motivate myself without that dangling money carrot anywhere. And one of the things I discovered is, I mean, I work, and I have all these projects going on with all these different people because it's a requirement for me. But I was like, you know, one night I was sitting here by myself, all quiet, and I discovered that accomplishment, working on a project and pulling something off, that accomplishment right there, that's my crack. And I need to accomplish something. And when I start to get really down and depressed, it's when I've been working my ass off and it doesn't seem like there's any forward movement. Well, aren't I doing research the one night? And sure than shit, the sense of accomplishment creates dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline in your body.
Oh, there we
you
are.
go. So that's what's important. So guys, everyone set out to accomplish something this weekend. The time is up. Here we go. Thank you, lady, for being on with me today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Sorry, chatters. I'm going to try and get our own homegrown chat up for this weekend, so stay tuned. I don't know. I'll get someone to announce it on air once we get it there. I'll put it on the BTFC site, so ucy.tv/BTFC. We'll put the new chat there once it's up and running, and then we'll get everybody logged in. All right, guys, everybody try and have a wonderful weekend. Come hang out with us. Stick around for Friday nights. All kinds of good stuff. Make sure you catch Josh live tonight, and Levon is back. All right, guys, talk to you soon.
Good weekend.